Good morning, all you YouTubers. This morning, it's another rainy day in Ohio, so wanted to share with you another story or something that's I've got some experience with and get your thoughts on it. So if you have any thing you'd like to share with me, feel free to leave that in the comments. And if you could subscribe to my channel, that would help me out a great deal. I'm very new at this and all that, so just learning the game, the YouTube game and everything. So today's topic is Parkinson's disease and tremors. So I'll share with you a little bit of my story. We'll see where we'll start here. We'll go back probably 4 or 5, well, for many years. I'll give you a little bit of my background. I'm a very athletic and fit person. I go 5, 10, 15, 20 years without a cold or flu. So, always been very healthy, like Superman, or I'm sort of bulletproof. Never had a broken bone. Better knock on some wood here to bring myself some, so I don't get bad luck here, but not that I'm bragging or anything, just sharing my story. So with that in mind, and enjoyed cycling, hiking. I typically go out the last 10 years or so. I can ride a bike 100, 170 miles is my furthest in a day. And at one time I was having one of the manufacturer down in Australia. His name's Ian Sims from Greenspeed. He was going to make me a custom race trike to fit me because I'm very tall and a powerful rider. So, and I was contemplating trying to go after a few world records in the for the recumbent trike for myself and the company. And then Ian, unfortunately, I think he had some sort of stage 4 cancer and got sick, and then all our plans and drawings were put on hold, and then he started to make a recovery, it seemed like, for a short time, and we talked a little bit more, and then next thing I know, he had passed away. So sad to hear. He was a leader and in the recumbent bike industry, and a great, nice guy. He'd spend hours or quite a bit of time talking with about anybody about bikes and sharing and listening to what you know and sharing what he knows. So anyhow, back to the story. So this was about 4 or 5 years ago when all this started. And I ride my bike 3 or 4 days a week, typically, and like I said, doing, I'm fairly quick, probably have a 18 to, depends, 22 mile an hour average. I can hold upper 20s for quite some time. And so that's my background on that. So anyhow, about 4 or 5 years ago, I started, I just felt fatigued, and my legs, I just were tightened up. I thought, man, is this what old age feels like? I'm like in my mid-50s at that time. I'm 60 now. And because I've never experienced anything like that so much. And here, bear with me a minute. So like I said, I got no editing. So anyhow, it continued for a little bit, several years actually. And so I kind of was contemplating, getting out of cycling or retiring, because I was just really slow and fatigued, and I would, in 10, 15 miles, I felt like I was just exhausted and couldn't turn the cranks over. And which, like I said previously, I could ride 100, 150 miles and almost feel like I hadn't ridden to some degree. And so that went on. And then one Thanksgiving, it was either Thanksgiving Day or same week as Thanksgiving, a few days after, before. Like I said, this was 4 or 5 years ago. My hand started shaking. So if you're noticing the videos, the camera might shake or there. If I can stop it if I think about it. So anyhow, so that was another thing that started happening. So first it was first showed up in my legs. And so anyhow, it's been affecting my whole, body and in various ways, my speech, my movement, and once again, who I am. I'm a kind of a fighter and try to look for something to do to help my situation out and also to share that with others. That's why I'm sitting here making this video. And so it got so bad over the next 4 or 5 years. I got my wife, Rosie, and my family together last winter. And I said, I think I'm done, and I don't think I can go on much longer. And my wife's Filipino, and we've been married about 5 years now. And I said my dream is to go to the Philippines, and I just want to see something else before I go. So I asked my brother, to help me out and sell my home and sell my business, because I couldn't hardly think real well or move. On my job, I'm a landscaper, and so I would fall, kind of be so tired I would lay in the yard or go sit in the truck, and I couldn't hold on to the equipment, work the equipment that I had. So that's how bad it had gotten. So I got them together, and so that's where part of the ties into my channel here, the Philippine journey and dream of going there and stuff, and is partly because of this and stuff, and just I want to see something else. I'm going to make another video about that, but back to the Parkinson's. Bear with me, I jump around a lot, just my nature. So anyhow, over that winter, I started trying stuff again, changed up my diet, tried garlic, tried here's a few tried a bunch of things, and didn't seem to make too much difference, most of the stuff I tried. Then I researched online for various, because I'm I like a lot of natural products or Chinese medicine, and because this is a lot of things that are happening to us aren't nothing new. Problems of different things have been around for hundreds and thousands of years, and the Indians and Aztecs and Chinese and various other cultures have dealt with these things in the past. So I'm always interested in finding out what they've done. So anyhow, I was watching this one video. His name's William Hoff. I think that's how you pronounce it. He does ice baths and extreme things like that. Hikes out in the cold, and and promotes that type of stuff. So I said, well, I'm going to try a cold shower. So I hopped in the shower one day, and it's like, man, I couldn't hardly take that. I'm not a person for sitting around much, and it's hard for me to even sit here and talk to my phone. But anyhow, it gets easier and easier as the more I do. But so I tried that a few times, and it was okay, but very hard to do, because again, just sitting there and freezing to death. So anyhow, over the winter, this past winter, 2021 winter, 21-22, this will sound kind of crazy, but I was desperate. I got where and I had to try to do something where I couldn't, I was having trouble walking, my hands, my arms, just every part of my body. So I thought I'd try some cold stuff over the winter. So I told my wife, I said, I'm going out up to the graveyard, and it would be 10 degrees, 20 degrees, 30, Ohio gets, below 0 to 30, 40 degrees, varies, each and every day. So I think that particular day it was about 30 out, and she goes, well, be sure to, bundle up and wear your gloves and hat. And I said, no, I'm going out with my, just my shorts on. So I put my shoes on, shorts on. I went up to the graveyard at the top of the hill here and ran around that for 15, 20 minutes. The first 10, 15, 20 minutes, you think you're going to freeze to death. But anyhow, I went from, try to keep the story a little shorter, and I come back and, it didn't feel too bad to me. And so anyhow, I did that pretty much every day this winter. And I went from exhausted walking up the hills and very low energy and struggling to walk to where I could run up the hills at a good pace, because once again, I'm very athletic and I'm used to being able to do that. And so I went out almost every day this past winter, and my health and mobility and energy has bumped up, I would say 40 to as high as 70% more. Now I still shake, as you can see in some of the videos, and my hand, and that it shakes most of the time, some worse than others, and there's times where I catch myself not shaking. But the biggest thing for me has been my energy's up, my mobility's up. By no means am I back to 100% of myself. I'm still feel like I'm in a battle, but it's vastly improved, and I contribute that to the cold. And I went out as low as 5 degrees. Was the lowest I think I went out, and there was a wind chill below 0 that day. I think I was just out maybe 30 minutes that day, but I usually run because that helps generate heat, because I don't go out and lay in the weather, and plus I like being active. So I did that, and I ran as much as I could. I'm not really a avid runner, so I didn't take off for a 5-mile or 10-mile run through the woods or whatever. I did run in the woods most of the time, sometimes on the local bike path, but I would jog, up the hills and catch my breath and jog up the next hill and maybe take off for a half-mile or mile sprint or jog or whatever you want to call it, and back and forth like that, because like I said, I'm not really a runner per se, but just enough to kind of keep warm and do that. So it got where I could tolerate, I felt like 25, 35 degrees was 60 or 70. The longest I was out was for an hour, a little over an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. But I really become acclimated to the cold, needless to say. And every day, the first 15, 20 minutes was a little hard to get through. And it seems like once you got past that, your body metabolism and all, whatever you want to call it, kicked in, and you start generating heat. And there was days of it was sunny and 30. I think I could have went out for hours, walking, running, or whatever. But anyhow, it's that and the coconut oil. I take a spoonful or 2 or 3 of them a day. So between them two things, the cold is number one. I encourage you to consider that and look into that for yourself and maybe try it. However you can, want to, but that's really no doubt been a big help to me. So just wanted to share that with you. So this has hopefully been valuable to you, and if you have any comments or anything, feel free to leave them, and I'll try to get back with you and answer them as best I can. And I appreciate everybody tuning in and watching, and I thank my 4 subscribers I have at this point. So got a long ways to go to get to 1,000, but anyhow, I'm in there for the long haul. So thanks for watching, and hopefully this has been helpful to each other, and we'll talk to you later. Have a good day. Thanks.